talk, real relationship drama with the best nights of your life.
Good
Your host,
evening,
Jaye,
good
and
evening,
simply
good
E. Hold
evening,
on.
and
Hold on.
welcome
Get
to
ready
the
to
best
enter
night
the J spot
of
on Intellectual
your
Radio.
life. Woo! Hey, family, welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, you all, I am so glad to be back. How are you guys? Woo! Listen, I have missed you all. I hope that you all have missed us because listen, we have been in these streets, okay? We have been in these streets. We were on vacation. We were in where were we at? We took a cruise. You all look. Before I get into this cruise business, let me just tell you all, do me a favor, go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe our channel, the J Spot Radio. Go to Facebook and like and follow us there, the J Spot, Instagram, the J Spot Radio. J is spelled Jaye. For all three, turn on the notification bells, you all. Boop, boop, boop. Let's get to it. I hope that you guys have been doing well. Listen, you all, let me tell you, this is not it's not a promo. I'm just going to tell you about my experience. So we went on a cruise. Baby, let me tell you something. This was an experience. We went for my class reunion and I absolutely loved everything about being with my classmates from high school. We had an amazing time. Let me tell you what I want to specifically focus on, you all, is some of the stuff. So there were a lot of young people on this cruise. And I want to say this, you all. If you all have teenage daughters, get your daughters. You know, listen, it's not, I'm going to say this, it's not these young men. I had to see it firsthand for myself. It's you all's daughters. You all daughters are scary. Okay. You all have some scary daughters. I had to tell a few of these young men. I said, listen, you all look. Okay, y'all focusing on the wrong thing. Y'all not paying attention to the right thing. You all need to be very, very, very cautious and very aware and mindful of your behavior these next few days because you could end up being attached to someone for the next. People like to say, it's 18 years, when you're having a baby. But I tell anybody, listen, if you intend on being a good parent, then you are with that child and with that person for the rest of your life. You're connected with this person. But baby, some of these young girls, listen, all you saw was platinum blonde hair down to their butt, lip gloss all everywhere, and the nastiest attitudes. Them girls, most of them girls was so dang on rude. I'm just like, where is your mother? So I can smack your mother for letting you act like this because they were young enough that they were not there by themselves. So it's an adult that booked this. I almost called her name. Book these young ladies, these cruises with them nasty tail attitudes. You should have left them heifers at home. I'm gonna go back to the old school where the grandmas, they say, listen, sit that heifer down. Y'all should have left them heifers at home. I had to tell a couple of these young boys, I said, listen, this one right here, these little girls, this ain't, listen, son, let me tell you, from a mother's experience, from an auntie, whatever you want to call me, old folk, OG, whatever you want to call me, listen, I got listen, these chicks right here, stay away from them because these chicks, they call ruin a brother's life, baby. They will ruin your entire life with the flick of an acrylic nail tip. They will ruin your life. I said, so y'all better be careful what y'all out here doing. Don't get me wrong. These little girls, they was cute and just, baby, they listen, the thirst trap was real. But as an auntie, I had to let these brothers know. And you may be saying, well, Jay, why would you say that about the girls and not the boys? Because these boys, they had no idea the lowdown slithering, sliding, treachery tricks that these chicks listen, the plots that they had that they was laying for these boys. They had no idea. See, most of them young men on that trip, they were not thinking right here. They were thinking with they little Herman the monsters, and the girls knew that. And you would think that the boys would be the ones out searching and lurking and prancing and just searching. Mm-mm. Baby, it was them girls. Them girls, some of you all daughters, woo. That's all I can say is, woo. I'm sorry, Olu. Auntie gonna try to stop yelling. I'm gonna try to stop yelling. Listen, you all, you got to do better. Y'all, listen. Let's talk about these young ladies. Let's really seriously talk about that. Like, what are we instilling in? What type of values and morals? What are we teaching our young people? Almost all of these young girls that I saw walking, they were dressed like you. I wanted to ask them how much. How much are you selling it for? How much? Yeah, it's a cruise. I understood that we out in the sun. I understand that. I understand all that. But these were kids. These were not grown women. These were kids. And baby, they were showing everything. You know, back in the day when it said shake what your mama gave you and all this, listen, baby, they was shaking it, throwing it, giving it away, taking it back, they was doing all that. And all I can do was say, "Ooh, child, I'm so glad that I don't have a girl because I would literally be beating her in her back. Cause I cannot, you will not. We were always brought up, you watch how you leave the house because you represent me. So what I saw being represented on that cruise, parents, some of y'all got to go back. Y'all gonna have to go back and try that again. Because just because you as a mother feel comfortable with wearing that, or you think that it's okay for you to wear that, like you shouldn't be letting your daughters dress that way. Like, come on. And then you get mad when these dirty old geezers are sexing them up with their eyes. You can't get mad at these geezers. You cannot. How are you dressing her like she's selling it? And then you get mad when they want to know how much. You can't, we can't be like that. You got to make a decision. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that these men have a right to look at these young girls. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm also saying that it's not okay for how a lot of you all are allowing your daughters to dress. See, we want to put the blame and the responsibility on everybody else, but we also, as a parent, we have to take some responsibility for how we let our kids leave out the house, what we let them put on. You let them put on whatever it is that they want to put on. You know why? Because you don't feel like hearing their mouth. Because you know that heifer got a nasty attitude. So instead of you telling her no, you give in, trying to be her friend. Oh, they young. You only live once. Well, listen, if you want her to keep living, you better change, modify those clothing. That's all they sell. That's all they sell. And look, it's so many excuses in the book. Like it's all, look, been there, done that, heard it all. If you want to find some things that are appropriate for your kids to wear, there is definitely out there. Is it difficult to find some things that are appropriate? Absolutely. That is stylish. Let me say this. That's stylish and appropriate. Yeah, I can get that. I understand and I agree. It can definitely be difficult to find some stylish things, but you just can't let them walk like hip hop hoe outside. Like you can't do that again and then think that, oh, this geezer, he's wrong because he can't control himself because he see men are visual. Men are visual. So we get mad because this man, he's getting turned on and he's getting aroused by a tempting body. Should he be getting aroused? No, because I think that that's very creepy. Very creepy. But I also think that it's natural. It's his body. Why? Listen, if we're going to hold him accountable as we should for the nasty geezer that he is, but we also have to hold our young ladies and our parents accountable for how they are allowing their daughters to dress. We can't just, it's not one or the other, it's both. There needs to be a higher level of accountability on both angles, both parts. So if you want him to be held responsible, which I agree, but parents, you also have to hold yourselves to a higher standard in regards to how you all are allowing your daughters to dress, because again it was just a mess. And baby, they have this little saying, we don't judge, babe, I'm judging I'm judging, looking back, just like, oh child, this heifer, yeah, oh, this heifer and her mama. I'm just like, I just was sitting thinking, God, I was like, Lord, thank you for blessing me to have a boy, because I know it would have been really difficult having a girl in today's society, especially the way that I think and the way that I care about certain things. Like, you're not just about to dress and do anything just because everybody else is doing it. Like, we're in the peer pressure, and it's real. Listen, these young people are getting snatched up off the street daily, daily. You have to be mindful on what your kids are promoting. Who they are in your house around you may be totally different from who they are on social media. So we have to be mindful. But you all, listen, put your daughters on some clothes. Let's just go ahead on. Put your daughters on some clothes, because again, I promise you, when that boat docked back in Miami, I already knew. I said, baby, let me tell you, it's so many girls on that. They left that cruise pregnant and not knowing who the baby daddy is. Some, listen, they throat tingling around about now. They got a little itch. They got a little burning sensation when they was using the bathroom. I knew all that was taking place on that cruise amongst them young people. So listen, we got to be real. We got to start talking to our kids. Listen, we got to look. You had your chance to be outside and live your best life. Now look, it's time for you to sit up, stand up, and raise your kids. Stop being out here trying to twerk and megging knees and turn up. Listen, talk to your daughters. Even listen, even if you are an old heifer, don't think it's okay to raise her to be a young heifer. Just give it a chance. You got to give these young ladies a chance. Like, you have to instill better in them. Just because you want to be out here looking like you selling it, you old enough to look like you selling it, and would nobody care. But at least let these young ladies grow up, and then if they want to be a heifer like their mama, then they can go head on and be some heifers. But at 15, 16, baby, they should not be having all that platinum blonde weave down to their butt, about to trip over it, having all of it. It's just too much. Now, maybe it's just me, but fellas, I want to ask you all, what do you all feel? Are you okay with your daughters dressing like this? What do you expect? How do you all expect your daughters to dress? And if you have custody of your daughters, or they spend a great amount of time, what is your dress code for your daughters? What is your standard for your daughters? Because again, I could just be old fashioned and just stuck in my ways. They say, listen, you get up there, listen, let me say this. I will be the first one to say, baby, listen, you talking about the whole boots, the whole shoes, the whole after, listen, baby, listen, and we'll still, depending on where I'm going, how I feel. I got the whole apparel, but I feel like I've already had my whole wearing days, and I'm probably just gonna go ahead on and sit down over here and just relax and enjoy the view, because I've had a good time, and listen, baby, I strutted. You listen, if you would have thought that I was selling it, I'd have been like, well, how much we talking? How much we talking about? Then we can talk. Listen, just So I'm not gonna sit up here and act like, oh, I'm holier than thou, and acting like I ain't got no whole boots and no whole clothes, cause I do. But I can afford. Listen, I'm old enough to be an old hoe. Listen, listen. Okay? I can be an old hoe if I want to. I'm talking about these young hoes. Okay, they too young. Listen, you got to be at least 21 to be a hoe. Okay, I'm gonna say like this: you got to be at least 21. If we gonna vote, can we vote on that? We gonna raise the whole age to 21. If you're not 21, you go put you some clothes on, sit down, get your education, figure out what life is all about, and then you can come back and figure out what's up. On YouTube, Sunny D is saying, old ones teach one. And also the mothers have already corrupted the daughters. Absolutely. And we have to do better. We got to do better. Ladies, if you want to save your daughters, listen, we not their friends. It's okay to, you know, listen and have a good relationship and have an open relationship with them. But just because you have a good and open relationship, sometimes being too easy on them, it could turn out to be to their detriment. So we just got to definitely try to do a little bit better in that area. And for you young men, run. Run, run. If you see that platinum blonde hair, run. If you see that listen, baby, they got the lip gloss and they be taking the pose. Y'all know how they be doing with them lips and the tongue all out. Run. Auntie is telling y'all what to run from, okay? If she got a bad attitude, run. If she feels like I, he got to do this and he got to do you 17 years old and she talking about you got to bring if he can't get me no Gucci bag and get my hair and my nails done, wench, from who? Where is he getting Gucci money from at 17 years old? He barely got bus fare. He barely got his own lunch money. Where is he getting that from? Where is he supposed to get some Gucci money to give you at 17 years old? You know where she expected him to get it? And then y'all wondering why. Listen, something that happened to your sons and all. Listen, because it's these corrupt these little holets that they got running out here. You got to get look, get these little heffelets and sit them down and talk to them. You know, I have a whole lot of boys in my family, a whole lot of young men, and it's sad because it's like when you look. It's like nobody is talking about having families and having wives and husbands and things like that. Nobody is talking about that. They talking about what they can get from this one and what they can get from that one. And then when it doesn't work out, you on to the next. But it will start working out if we start laying a better foundation. If we start talking about those things that are important. Now, don't get me wrong, and this is going to lead into our first hot topic. Everybody is not looking for a family. Everybody is not looking to have kids. Everybody is not looking for this. This man says, he's a former NBA player. He says that marriage is only for poor people and women. What do you all think about that? He said that marriage is only for poor people and women. He said outside of that, marriage does not benefit anybody else, only poor people and women. So why would you get involved in a relationship to be married when it doesn't benefit men? What do you all think about that? Is that a true statement that marriage only benefits poor people and women? Like, there's no benefit for men. And I know that we have talked about that, but poor people, ladies, I always say that. I say this and I'll say it again. When you hear a man talking like that, Please don't take that on as a project where you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to put this thing on him and he going to look. It's time out for all of that trying to change him. Be thankful that he has expressed his feelings about marriage up front. So now, if you are a woman that still desires marriage, that you desire love, you desire all those beautiful things, this may be a brother that you want to stay away from. This may be a brother, I don't care how good he looks, I don't care how much money he has. This may be a brother that you want to avoid because his mind is already made up on how he feels about marriage. And here's the deal, I can totally respect that. I have no pushback from this brother, none whatsoever, because that's how he feels. That's his views, and he's entitled to feel that way. So here's the thing, it's not our job to try to change people. Just get our job is to gather the information so that we can make an informed decision on if this is somewhere for us to go, if this is somewhere for us to stay, if what they want aligns with what we want. But if those basic things don't match and you find that ish out up front, hit the door. Hit the door. What would be the purpose of, listen, hanging on that schlong dong? Now he done turned you out. Now you can't let him go. Now you thinking that, oh, since you slept with him, and listen, not only did you sleep with him, baby, you let him slutted you out. And you thought that that was going to change his mind. Ladies, we should already know this, but just in case we don't, let's talk about it. Just because you let a man slut you out, he's not going to change his mind, okay? He loved the fact that you letting him slut you out. He loving it. Each chance he get to slut you out, he's coming back for more and more and more. But it does not mean that he wants you. He just likes all of the disgusting, that nasty, filthy. Listen, he every filthy thing you doing to him and you letting him do to you, he likes that. But that's not enough to change his mind on what it is that he wants. Marriage and all this other stuff. So now you all up in your feelings because you done let him knock the bottom up out the thing. Now you done let him knock your whole common sense and your understanding. Y'all know, listen, y'all know some of these techniques these guys got. Listen, just knock your whole you already wasn't dealing with a full deck in the beginning. But then some of you all get with these dudes and y'all let them just knock your whole understanding, knock the rest of your understanding out. Now you stuck. Now you think that because he done knocked your understanding up out of you, now he's supposed to change his mind and now he's supposed to be in love. And well, ma'am, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. You've just gotten your understanding knocked out. You just got your cervix and stuff tilted. That's the only thing that has happened. So the change has been on you. This brother's still the same. He's standing 10 toes down. Now you saying, you know, with Jay, when we was in it, and I asked him, who's is it? And he calling my name. Yeah. So now that he's done slutting you out and doing disgusting stuff, he's back to standing on his business. He's not getting married. He don't want no kids, or he don't want no woman with no kids, or whatever it is that he told you before you let him slut at you out. He still feels the same way. And he's still standing 10 toes down in that. And now you just let him slut at you out for no reason. So listen when a man is saying this. Listen when they are telling you what they want and what they don't want. It's our job to listen to get an understanding, not so that we can change their mind. Or again, there is no such thing, because some of us think that we got the golden pot. And I think that, listen, your pot is golden to you, and it should be. It should be. But don't place all that value in your golden pot and think that it's going to mean something to the man, because all he wants to do is just listen, and that's it. He go now, and that's it. That's all he want to do. He gonna say it, whatever you need to hear, by any means necessary. Now, we should already know this, but for some of us that may have forgotten, if he don't want it and he's saying it in the beginning, just listen, go ahead on and find you something else to get into. Don't waste your time getting your feelings hurt, messing around with these people that are already telling you what they want and what they don't want. You listen, save yourself the heartache and the pain. Save it. If he's saying he don't want marriage, don't want kids, let him go. Because again, listen, we just gonna have a little conversation. These make some of the most miserable bastards to be around. You know, this bastard told you he didn't want no kids. Now you end up getting pregnant, and you thinking that's gonna change his mind. You think that that's gonna make him want to marry you. It's not. Now, I want to put a twist on this, because this was the first time that I've ever heard with this next hot topic. This is the first time that I've ever heard it put like this. What have you all ever had a man that tell you he doesn't want any kids? Okay, but hold on. But the twist is, he said that he doesn't want kids ever, because having kids changes the dynamics of a marriage or a relationship. And he says, you know what? Listen, I don't want to share you. I don't want to come second to a kid, even if it is our kids biologically. I don't want my life to change. So, therefore, I don't want to be a father ever. I don't want to have any kids, because I just want to do what I want to do between me and you. I don't want for us to not be able to travel and not be able to do anything, because we got kids. We got to have, when I say, listen, I want you to drop to your knees. Listen, drop to your knees. I don't want you to say, oh, well, let me go put the kids in the bed first. Let me go do this, whatever it is pertaining to kids. I don't want no parts of it. Listen, this was my first time ever hearing or seeing it being explained like that. Like, like this man, like men that think like this and agree with this, are they wrong for that? First of all, no, they are not wrong for that, because at the end of the day, I wholeheartedly believe we are entitled to want what we want, when we want it, how we want it. We are. And there's somebody out there that will be glad to oblige with what it is. There's going to be somebody out there that matches what it is that you want. However, I think that this is something, when you have those type of feelings, and you have those type of, not only feelings, but when that's your relationship standard, those, in my opinion, are things that should especially be discussed up front. And that's kind of why I like talking about marriage. And I think talking about marriage and talking about having kids are so important to do up front, because again, especially, listen, you all in the 30 plus age range, we should be talking about this up front. Because listen, eggs are dying by the million dozens every day. I don't think I even have any more. So to be sitting up here playing around with a brother, and you're doggone it, you are depending on, you want to have a baby, and you know that you want to be a mother. Listen, and you got a dude, and he a good dude. He a good dude. But He's already made his stance on how he feels about either being a parent or getting married. He's already made his stance on that. Deidre says, I agree. So why would you stick around, waste all of your childbearing years with someone that you already know does not want the same things that you want? And then you want to say, oh, well, it's him. Now, I can see, had he hid these things, and then you've wasted all of these years with him because you're thinking that, oh, we're going to get married, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And then he just flips the script and says, oh, I don't want no kids. I don't want. Listen, don't be afraid to have these important conversations up front. I can't stress that enough, especially again, when you're in the 30 plus age range, baby, when that fertility window is closing in on you, you need to start. What are you waiting 6 months for, a year for, to ask what they think about marriage or what do they think about having kids? What the are you waiting that long for? Why? Why? That's another year that your window of opportunity for in your fertility is like this. Now you waited a year. Now it's closing. Another year. It's closing. It's closing. What's closing? Your eggs, the vitality of your eggs, everything. Your womb is getting older. Everything is getting older. So time is of the essence for women. But men, they can drag this ish along as long as they want to. And I don't think that that's fair. If you are a dude and you know, because listen, let's be honest. Some of you dudes know that y'all be having a good chick, but you don't want what she want. You don't want kids, or you don't want to get married, or you'll be cool with having some kids, but marriage is off the table. So you will dangle it along just like a little carrot. You'll dangle it. You'll keep dangling the possibility in front of her when you know for sure that you're never going to marry her, either because you don't want to get married, you don't believe in marriage, or whatever the case is, but you know you've made your decision, but you haven't communicated that to her. So now you got her, she's staying with you, and she listen, her best years, she's sitting up here with you. She's 35, 36, 30, 32, 33. She with you, and you know that you don't want no kids. You don't want to get married. So then you wait till she 38, 39. Now you already knew I ain't want no kids. I ain't want to get married. What? 38, 39. You don't wait it to her window of opportunity to become a mother was this then. I think that that's some selfish, bastardist type ish. I really do. I think that's some selfish ish. Now, for the men that come for me, come on. Oh, you can't make nobody stay and do nothing she wants. She was a willing participant. The only way I'm going 100% hands down agree with that she was a willing participant is if he said he told her. If you told her flat out, I don't want to get married, I'm not getting married, I don't want to have no kids, and she chose to stay on that train with you, I don't have no beef with you. But if you know that you was one of them, man, not right now. Let's just see how things continue to go. You know, if you giving that bull junkie, you's a raggedy bastard. That's just it. That's all. That's it. That's all. You's a raggedy bastard for that. Because you have not stood 10 toes down in your answer. You're still leading her on. You're still, and listen, fellas, you already know. Listen, once you got her here, all this common sense go out the door. She should know better. Yes, she should. But this is not where she's using. This is what you're tugging at. You're pulling at the strings of her heart. And you all know that you do this. You know that you're not reasoning with her here. she grown. She should know better. No, 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 no. Let's take some accountability, fellas, for how we listen. Y'all know some of y'all be guilty of this ish. I'm not saying all, but there are some dirty bastards out here that do that. And I want to say, stop being a dirty bastard if you're doing that. Now, ladies, okay, y'all know how I like to do it. It's equal responsibility. If you know that you want to have kids and you want to get married and you've been with this Bama a year, then you go into the second year and ain't nothing cracking, at this point, you need to take what's left of your eggs and your fertility and find somebody else, because it's not happening with this brother. Because it does not take all these years for a man to decide if he wants to marry you. It does not. It doesn't take all that. If I believe, and fellas, help me if I'm wrong, I believe that after 6 months to a year, a man already knows whether or not he's gonna marry you. Fellas, look, I can't speak for y'all, but I kind of, I'm feeling that we kind of in sync there. Is that a true statement? Do men already know after a year, at least 2 years at the max, they know whether or not they want to marry a woman? They know that. Michael, you're saying, would you still want women to confirm? I mean, like 3 years later, I'd be like, so what's the decision? But I agree with you. Absolutely. 3 years, Michael, to piggyback on what you said, 3 years, she's walking into the twilight zone on her own. You ladies, if you 3 years, 4 years, you are now a willing participant in this train ride. So wherever it ends, if it ends in marriage, this is how you have to look at it. Like, okay, if it ends in marriage, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Because I am continuing on with this, and I know that he has not made a move. We haven't even had a conversation. You're still getting, oh well, let's just see what it let's see where it goes. Let's just see what happens. It's only so much let's see where it goes, let's see what happens, bull junkie that you can take. How much? Listen, what else do we have to see? How much more do we have to see? Cedric, hey, how you doing? You're saying 3 to 6 months. Myron is saying, yep. And sister, I'm pretty Tasha said, exactly, Sister J. It sure don't take that long. It doesn't. It doesn't. Cedric is saying she got to know herself as well as be on her business. It absolutely. I'm just like, these time is again of the essence. If you have a woman, and listen, 35 is not old, 40 is not old, but in childbearing years and things of that nature, it's old. Listen, yes, I know Janet Jackson had a baby and all this, and all these others, Ashanti. Most of us don't have Janet Jackson money to afford Janet Jackson care, or Ashanti money and all that to afford that care, where you can do absolutely nothing but just let the baby grow and you don't have to do anything else. A lot of us don't have that luxury. So if you know that you want to be a mom and you're in that age range, I'm not, listen, by all means, I don't do ultimatums. Ladies, ultimatums are not necessary. In my opinion, ultimatums are not necessary. You have to look, see what we do is, this is what I think, why we, some as women, sometimes we do ultimatums, because we don't want to make the decision. We want to put it on somebody else. But guess what, ladies? Our happiness, our well-being, our future, it's on us. It's on us. So we can't put all of that. You can't put your happiness and you moving on and doing what you need to do and making the decisions that you want to make in life. We can't put that responsibility on someone else. Michael is saying, for me, I think 2 1 year dating, 1 year living together, and then I'll really know them. And that can be a good technique. However, you got to be careful with that moving in and living together, because then you all get comfortable. Now he's comfortable, so now really there's now I really don't have to marry you because we already live together. So now you get the, man, what we gotta get married for? We already doing what married people do. What we gotta get married for? Marriage ain't nothing but a piece of paper. Then that's when they come with that bull junkie. Marriage ain't nothing but a piece of paper. Well, money ain't nothing but a piece of paper either. But you want that bull junkie, you value that, don't you? So why you want to reduce marriage to just being a little piece of paper when it's convenient, but you don't deduce and diminish the value of money, which is just a piece of paper as well. So, if we just gonna deduce it to, oh, it's just a piece of paper, it's just a piece of paper. See, we get convenient with that, it's just a piece of paper type bull junkie when it's convenient. But ladies, you gotta step up and you gotta be like, listen, if this ain't what you want, you know what you want, and you start approaching that year mark, and this brother ain't said nothing, he ain't even sneezed and almost said marriage. You gotta start making some decisions for yourself. I would say, you know what? Have a conversation if you haven't done so. But again, this just is to piggyback on what I said earlier. I believe in having a conversation about marriage and kids in the beginning. It don't mean that me and you are going to get married, but I need to know what your stance is, because the last thing you want to do is now a year later, a year and a half later, now that's your first time bringing up the conversation of marriage or children. What have you all been doing the last year or so besides freaking? What have you guys been talking about? Like what kind of conversation? Like, I don't see how a relationship or whatever it is that you may want to put that label on, how does it get that far and you haven't had that type of conversation? So again, for me, that's something that I want to know out the gate. If my goal is to be married or have kids, ladies, that's something, in my opinion, you may want to consider. And some women say, that's gonna run him off. It's only gonna run the man off that's on some bull junkie. It's only gonna run him off, because if you can't have a conversation with somebody, that right there to me tells that, listen, your communication skills are off. Because if I'm about to potentially share my body with you, you mean to tell me I can't have a conversation with you about anything that is on my heart? I can't have that conversation with you. I don't have your attention to have that conversation, because again, when you're having the conversation, it's not the first conversation about that is not specific regarding me and you. It's just, I want to know your general thoughts on marriage. I want to know your general thoughts on having kids. Like for me, listen, you need to ask me that up front. You need to ask me, because I'm going to let you know, listen, there's no more kids, no more. Listen, I don't want, you can't come with little kids that don't know how to write their name yet, or they need help with 2 plus 2. I'm not the candidate for it. I'm not. You're not going to be over here. What you, it's, I don't know. I'm not dealing with that foolishness. I'm not. So ask me. I'm the one that you need to ask up front. Now, because you listen. And I have been in this situation. What do you think about? Are you having more kids? It's one, I remember one situation, he had kids too, but our kids were older. It's like, so what do you think about having more kids? Because he's like, he wanted to have more kids. I was like, I'm like, I love kids, but like, I'm done. There's nothing look, the streets got a hold on me. The streets be whispering my name. Jaye, psst, psst, Jay, psst, psst, Jay. The streets got a hold on me. So I've been there and I've done that. So I knew. I said, you know what? This brother seemed like he a good brother. He seemed like he a good dude. But there's no future. I'm not even going to sit here and do that to him and even waste his time, because if you listen, these thighs like this for a reason. Baby, we done. So there's no reason in me holding on and trying to even pursue something when I know what his heart desires were. So what do? You fade out. We can still be cool and everything, but there's no purpose in this going any further, because it's not fair. Once you find out what people want, and if it doesn't line up with what you want, then you know what? Listen, move around. Now, some people may be saying, Jay, you could have missed out on a. No, I don't believe in messing people up. I don't believe in playing games with people. Once I hear what the ding 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 sounds are for me, then I'm gonna let it be. I am going to let it be. Blessed is saying no sex before marriage. Imagine if most people do that. Blessed, if most people did the no sex before marriage, you are absolutely right. There will be no baby mama drama. There will be no, well, not too many. There will be no need for a DNA test. There will be no need for a lot of the foolishness that we, as disobedient people that do not believe and that do not do what the Bible and Jesus tells us to do, we would avoid a whole lot of this foolishness. So blessed, yes. I can only imagine that would be a perfect world. That's why he said that. That's why God said that. Jesus said no sex before marriage to avoid all this foolery. But since we are down here in this foolery, I want to help us try to navigate it as best as we could. Christopher is saying, well, if they already got kids and ain't with the dad and gonna make this new dude wait, I assure you they dipping out, and I don't blame them. Now, see, Christopher, I don't agree with that sentiment, because what the heck does having kids got to do with, if she say she not trying to do it with you? What does one have to do with the other? Like, I ain't got to do it to you. Every person that you date or talk to, you ain't got to do it to them. Like, and that don't mean that they doing it to somebody else. Ladies, I think that that's a good conversation. Christopher definitely brought up another good point, though. If dudes thinking like that, listen, let's just put it like this. If you do it with him, he still will dump you. If you don't do it to him, he gonna dump you. So listen, what do you say, Jay? Do whatever it is that you want to do. Doing it with him ain't going to keep him from dumping you and dogging you. And not doing it with him ain't going to stop him from dogging you or doing whatever it is that he already had in his raggedy mind to do to you. It's not going to stop him from doing whatever it is. So you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. Women that's busting it wide open and giving it away on the first date get cheated on all the time. So please, ladies, don't buy into that. Oh, well, what's she saving it for? Because she want to. She already done gave it away. Well, she may want to save what's left. It's hers to save what's left if that's what she chooses to do. But ladies, I'm saying this. Don't fall for this foolishness. Oh, well, what you waiting for? You already done had 5 kids, and what you waiting for, this and that. Because I want to wait. Because I want to see what type of bastard I'm dealing with. That's why I'm gonna wait. So I can see. Let me see. Let me just see what type of foolishness that I'm dealing with. So again, it don't matter if you do it to him or not. He's still gonna do whatever foolishness he gonna do. He gonna do it whether you do it to him or not. So ladies, don't look like this is 2025 June going into July. We gonna stop falling for that bull junkie. Pretty Tasha is saying, I know a 73-year-old woman that had her 73. Oh, she had her last child at 43. I was about to say, oh my God. And she say, and everything went well. She is a regular person that live in my hometown. It's still possible. It's all in God's plan. Plan A 55-year-old woman with twins. Again, Pretty Tasha, I understand. But baby, let me tell you something. At 43, 53, 63, you ain't trying to hear no little baby. You ain't trying to hear all that bull junkie, okay? Because you finna start having some other things going on. 63 years old, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to help a 5-year-old teach them how to tie their shoes unless it's my grandchild. So now once you done tick me off, I can send you back home with your parents. But that's not something that I'm trying to take on. But again, I'm speaking as a woman that have already had a kid and that has made a decision and said, you know what? Listen, my son is grown. That gravy boat is still a possibility, but I'm consciously saying I'm not because I can't. It's just because I can't. Physically I can, but here I can't and I ain't. So that's a difference. But again, for those women that don't have kids and that still look forward to having kids, yes. And I definitely hope if you desire to be a mother, I definitely hope that you get the desires of your heart, that you've waited this long, that you get the family that you deserve. Cedric, you're saying know yourself and be on your business. Pretty Tasha saying, so true, Sister Jaye. Yeah, I do understand that part. So I'm not trying to be discouraging, but I just want to kind of put it out there like, ladies, if the time is ticking, then you have to do what you have to do and make whatever decision is necessary for you. And fellas, the same thing for you. But again, I'm speaking more to the ladies with that particular point because the time frame matters more for us than it do for you all. Guys, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we have more hot topics to get into. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Yeah, guys, listen.
Oh, girl, come on for you. Self, me love you for true. Oh, girl, come on for you. Self, do what jam me for true. Oh, girl, come on for you. Self, me love you for true. Oh, girl, come on for you. Hey, let me tell you now. How the Congo girl, I'm up right through. Wind up every tune, dancing in my blood, dancing in my blood. In the African way, got so much effort and shade. Congo girl, come on for you. Self, me love you for true. Congo girl, come on for you. Self, do what jam me for true. Congo girl, come on for you. Self, me love you for true. Congo girl, come on for you, hey. Spirit out on the run, can't talk what you don't know. Don't jump in me so, that was what we go do. Warrior to me heart, vibrate like a jump from start. Holy Congo no ma, the energy drink like a work of art. Congo girl, come on for you. Self, me love you for true. Congo girl, come on for you. Self, do what jam me for true. Congo girl, come on for you. Self, me love you for true. Congo girl, come on for you, hey. Ina go down low, ina go down low, low, ina go down low. So water give me some, ina go down low, low, ina go down, ina go down low. Oh, girl, come on for you.
Welcome back to J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. On IntellectualRadio.com, we are an iHeart station. I'm your host. I'm just Jaye. But sitting next to me, we got esthetician Chandler, mother of a group of cool dudes,
Hey, y'all.
and a little lady,
It's a whoa.
Lady Lotus. Hey, Lady Lotus, how are you?
Girlfriend. Good. How are you?
We are back, y'all.
We are. We are
been
back
in these streets,
in these waters,
kicking it, doing what old knees do.
baby. Woo.
Gotta get it.
I actually wore my heels. I'm still, oh, I like them yes screws, girl. Them yes screws.
It's
cute.
Juneteenth, girl.
I
Happy
like it.
Juneteenth.
Look, she got her heels in her ears. She ain't gonna put her heels on her feet though.
Baby, not now.
She done wore the black, so y'all can't see them. But baby, them yeah, look them yeah
Yeah,
screws.
y'all look.
I know y'all talking about what's a yeah screw. That would be an earring.
Yes. My little earring.
Those are cute.
My little heels and everything. I'm, representing Juneteenth. Listen, we up in this piece. Wait,
I got my red on. I got my green pants on. Then
I'm gonna put the other wrist up because this one I'm still waiting for this one. I ordered this one, so I'm still waiting for this one to come. But I'm putting it up.
I owe you an apology too. I'm sorry.
For what?
I was trying to teach Jaye how to do how to take pictures.
Baby, she about to stretch
with
this.
the hand. She's trying to take group pictures. I'm like, Jaye, you gotta put your hand out here now. My son, ex-girlfriend taught me how to do it. She's like, I said, oh, I'm sorry, baby. Okay, you will figure it out when that arm heal up. I'm sorry.
Baby, she took this wrist and she was stretching.
I was stretching it. I'm like, oh no, I forgot. I'm like,
it's limited mobility. Now, how? I don't know. It's, you know what? Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I do know. It's just that one of those things, as I told y'all, when you wake up one morning and you just like,
it hurt.
Dang, why is this hurting?
It hurt.
And it's been like that for a couple of months. Now you may say, Jaye, you should go to, I'm not finna go up in there so that they can tell me to get an MRI when I already know that I'm not gonna go up in there for no MRI. I'm just not gonna do it. It's not excruciating, it's uncomfortable. So there's a difference. Maybe if it becomes uncomfortable, then maybe I may consider going. But as of right now, listen, baby, as long as I can do this, it still works.
Pick that cup up. We good. We're amazing.
But guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We are glad to be back. Thank you so much, YouTube, for tuning in, holding us down. Thank you, the J Spot, Facebook. Thank you, Instagram. Go subscribe to our J Spot channel on YouTube. We are almost at 1,000. Guys, come on. What y'all waiting on? Oh, what y'all waiting on?
We're gonna have to just go up in there and just snatch them up.
If I wasn't trying to get my life right, I would have been said something to y'all. Go on over there to now YouTube and go on over there, subscribe to the J Spot Radio on
it's just
YouTube.
a button. Just click it.
And for those of y'all that are already over there, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you guys. Now listen, speaking of appreciating, this next hot topic. What do you all think about this? Now, you look, guys. I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming. That doggone the division between parents, the division between mother-in-law and wife and daughter and baby mama and wife. Listen. This next hot topic. This brother, he says he chooses his baby mama over his wife. Y'all heard me. You let the church say amen. He said he chooses his baby mama over his wife because his baby mama gave him something that his wife she gave him something that his wife haven't, which was a baby. You all, when I tell you I had to do some investigation and I had to look, it was a new person. It's one of these new people. Whenever you see these crazy type of situations, you got to look back and find out where the source is. So this was a new person, new young man that said that.
What do you mean by new young man? Why he
less than 30?
Oh, okay.
I call anybody under 30, I call them new people.
Youngsters.
And then even some, it depends on the situation because it could inch up to 35 and then 35 and under, so I'll leave that to see how you sound when they 30. Then I got to see what kind of conversation you got. Because if you still, teetering on that, then I'll put you, you in the new people category. But this brother said he choose his baby mama over his wife.
Ain't no way.
So I just need to know, sir, why didn't you make your baby mama your wife? If you putting her over your wife, why would you get married to someone else? So you basically lied when the preacher said, forsaking all others. You shouldn't have even, and maybe he didn't know what forsaken meant. So I'm gonna, because some of them they just pushing them through the school system. So maybe he didn't know what forsaken meant. But clearly that statement, why do you even have a wife?
Ain't no way.
Why Cedric is saying, why did he even leave his baby mama then? Exactly. Why are you
Maybe the baby mama left him.
This is a good
Maybe
point.
the baby mama left him and he ain't got over it.
Maybe because of saying stupid stuff like this that he just said to his wife. Exactly. Which is why he got a wife and a baby mama. But I'm just like, were you all not listening? Did you all?
I know this situation very well.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I know it very well.
Well, you want to elaborate?
Sure. I don't like her. I'm sorry. I don't like her anyway. So apparently my birth father has spoken to his wife that he married in 1999 that no one will ever take the place in his heart of my mother and myself. So as long as the two of us were not around, this lady seemed to have been happy. But once we came into the fold, there was issues and there was problems. Now, I blame my mama a lot. Hey, mama, I blame her a lot.
Hey, Mama Marie.
Because, he was all up in there calling her and boo-boo-whoopty, and then she calling her, and I'm like, Mama, don't call that lady house. Like, don't do that. And she's like, he calling me. You know how she is. I said, don't call that lady house. That's disrespectful. Let him call you, and then that's their problem. But if you calling them, so then because this lady is seeing our area code, I feel like she took them problems out on me. To where Lady Lotus had to tell her that the Johnson blood runs deep through my blood. And if you know my family, you know me. I will come to Texas and I will kick your door in if you keep disrespecting me. And I meant that. But the problem was that I feel like that problem was that statement. You saying that no one will ever take the place of that one, my mother or even me. That means that you're even putting me at a higher level than my siblings.
And this, you know what, but this just leads back to the conversation that we kind of had earlier in the show. And this may be the opposite of, so instead of a man saying it and feeling like that, a woman saying it. So do they have kids together?
No.
Okay. So
she has kids. He's raised her kids, but he hasn't been in his own children's life.
And see, and it's like, it's so, and it's so crazy because a lot of times those type of situations, it does really create jealousy because here you are with something that I wasn't even, one thing that I either was not able to give him or I didn't give him. So now she is dealing with a level of insecurity for whatever reason. I'm like, ma'am, he's your husband. So I don't understand, like, what are you?
Because all my mama had to do was snap her fingers.
And see, that was her husband. That was her husband's issue.
That was that.
That was like, that shouldn't have nothing to do with me, because if your husband is able to be just like that,
he was never your husband
at all. And
he stayed with the crazy lady.
I would be good riddance. I'm like, I cannot even imagine how to be in a relationship, let alone a marriage, and I have to walk around on eggshells because I feel like my place is threatened. Like, can you imagine feeling like that? Like you supposed to be where you said you was this number one, but now
I could not.
You not secure enough. I'm like,
I can't be there. How can I be here with you knowing that you've already told me that this woman has a spot that I can never feel? Now, I can understand if this lady passed away or whatever the case may be, you never got over her. I may be able to, like, okay, I got to, battle with this. But to be in the living on this world with all of me and my personality, and you gonna tell me that I can't take the place of your baby mama? You should never marry me. You go over there, you sit with her. You wait for her or do whatever y'all gotta do. Because I'm gonna go be with the person that's gonna say exactly what you said about her to me, because that's what I
Absolutely.
deserve.
And stand on
Divorce court.
It's like, what do you
Half.
even, it's like if somebody has your heart, like for me, that's a deep statement. Like that's ground for
Very.
me. Like I'm done. Like there is nothing like
She could call you in the middle. I could be dying and she could call you. And in my mind, you're going to
you're gonna
run to
leave.
her.
Yep,
I'm
exactly.
already behind your mama, your kids, and everybody else. And now I got to go behind her. No, we're not.
I'm like, that's a situation where I'm just like, I don't need that. But see, ladies, this is a prime example of when a man really ain't choosing you. And it's like sometimes we don't know. And I'm not saying this is what their story is, but you get behavior like this when a man is showing you that he really don't want to be with you, but you pressuring him or whatever it is. It's something that is keeping him there, but it's not the reasons that you think. The reasons are superficial. And it's like, do you really want to be in a relationship, let alone a marriage, where again you got to look around, you don't feel that you number one.
Right.
Like when you the wife,
I'm
number one.
I'm that chick.
Hands down.
Nothing.
Nobody. Ladies, not even your kids. Okay, the kids, when you get married, what did it say? If you not gonna adhere to the forsaking all others, don't get married.
No.
Let's just stay in a relationship, a committed relationship, and then we can make our own rules.
It should be 100% wholehearted. I wouldn't say he don't love her, or like I would say he's not wholeheartedly within that relationship if somebody else has a placemat there. He could have married you, or he could have been there because he care and he love you, because I mean, what's love got to do with anything? It's just an emotion. But he's not wholeheartedly in that. His whole heart ain't there. And if your whole heart ain't with me, if your mind, your soul, your body, your everything is not in this with me, don't come over here playing games with me, because you're going to come up short.
And you have to choose somebody that is choosing you. But ladies, I say again,
all the way choosing you.
And it's like when you hear stuff like this, again, this is why I say sometimes you just got to watch people. Because to me, this didn't just happen overnight with this guy saying, my baby mama, I choose my baby mama over my wife. You've already saw that in the relationship. You saw it, and you thought that by him making you his wife, that he would change. But you were already seeing that even being in a committed relationship, he wasn't putting you first. He was not putting your needs first. So this, to me, this didn't come just out of nowhere. You just don't, this is not something.
That's why men always say, you will go back to your baby daddy. Everybody always go back to their baby daddy.
No, sir.
A lie.
No, sir.
A lie.
Man, this brother, we can handshake, but you know,
your lies and your feet stink because I'm crossing the street.
It's like that time frame is like being young, and it's like, and I man, some people like, okay, young and dumb. And I'm not gonna say being young and dumb, because I consciously made the decisions that I made. So no. But the feelings and what I thought was love and what I thought I wanted, I've learned. And because out of experience, man, you know what love is versus now you know what lust is and infatuation and all these other things that can sometimes mirror or feel like love. But now you know what love is.
That's why they called us young and dumb, because we were dumb. We didn't really know.
I would say inexperienced, young and inexperienced,
and dumb and full of.
Hey, listen. I like to say we was listening to. Hey, listen, free Kels, okay, free R. Kelly. That's what I'm saying. You know,
get that man some help.
Free him. But he was the reason. You know that. You know. we got some kids here, because the story, the songs that he wrote, he told us, so we thought that was law until, you end up in West Suburban pushing out a 5-pound baby. And you like, yeah, dog, if this man said that wasn't nobody going, baby, when them contractions hit, everybody knew.
And
Okay.
the awakening didn't help.
Oh, no, it did.
I see that girl had that baby and I just cried and cried and cried. It was too late. There was already one in there.
It was, I'm just like, look, this foolishness here.
That should have been there first and then R. Kelly. But anyway.
Well, R. Kelly told me, I listened to what he was saying.
Him,
I was like, this probably didn't.
And it was H-Town with the good love and rowdy body, knocking boots.
See, y'all. So now y'all know why we had kids early.
It was our
because
music.
It was definitely
Involved.
the music. Like today's music. How do you even get hot and bothered?
How do you even fall in love?
Right. Let my friends knock it out the box and eat your butt like grow. How do you get? Where's the mood?
It's pink and it's pink back there.
It's like where is
brown,
the mood?
It's brown
like,
and it's pink.
Listening to some of this music, I'm just like, what type of full-fledged foolishness? But like I said, it's the girls. I don't listen. I don't even blame these dudes because these dudes. I know some of you all may be trying to be romantic with these. Listen, I called them some heifers earlier, and that's what I'm calling these little heifers. These little lip gloss wearing, platinum blonde weave wearing little heifers. Whew. Good luck with them. That's all I can say is good luck with them. But this music, my butthole, this, my South Virginia, that. I'm like, woo. Now, I know that they was talking about this stuff. Everything was being talked about back in the day. But you know what?
There was a secret.
Yes. Like I said, when you sitting up here, you 7 years old singing Secret Lovers, sitting at home, but I do nothing. Hey, we didn't know that she was not supposed to be sitting at home thinking about somebody, hoping he was okay because she had her own somebody at home. But see, it made you feel good. I
ain't gonna tell you what your best friend favorite song is.
What?
Girl, Diana Ross. Upside Down. That little girl be talking upside down. Boy, you turn me
and so I love it.
She don't have no idea what she's singing though. But these songs, these girls know exactly what they're singing, and they're mocking them, and it's bad because yes, they like y'all had Lil' Kim and y'all had this. The thing about it is we did have Lil' Kim.
We was grown when Lil' Kim came out.
Not we weren't grown.
What? When did Lil' Kim come out?
Lil' Kim was like early 90s. We
weren't. Oh, was she?
Yeah.
Because
she came out with Biggie and them first.
I ain't hear
when her stomach got full. When her stomach got full of that stuff, we was in grammar school when that was on GCI. But
I remember. No, because I was still living over in Humboldt Park at that time. So
we still had Lil' Kim. We had Foxy Browns. We had all of these things, but they were a minority.
And they weren't playing them on regular rate.
They were. They just had to have it both ways. But now nothing is censored, and it might be censored, but you still hear it. It was always a radio version and an LP version, and they were two totally different songs because I never knew the bad words to Jigga what, Jigga who.
See, I remember like that's all,
but I didn't
college. Like I was already out the house.
But even when we was doing that, I'm telling you, for me, I only knew radio versions.
Okay.
I only knew the songs. Even today, if I go back and I sing them songs, I'm going to sing them with no curse words because I didn't listen to those.
So wait,
they don't have that now.
So Pretty Talk, she said, I know one thing. If a man is in a relationship with me and married to me, I better have his heart. Listen,
wholeheartedly.
Listen, I'm gonna have it. If I have to take it out and put it in my pocket, I better have it one way or the other. Cedric is saying 93. And then Pretty Tasha, she's saying Lil' Kim was so nasty and doing all kinds of stuff.
Thank you.
You know what? But you know what? I'm gonna say this now. Pretty Tasha, don't listen. You have to support me, baby. Because let me tell you, when I tell you I'm a diehard, hardcore rap fan, let me tell you, diehard. let me tell you, I'm gonna tell y'all this one song that and I knew everything, and I'm like, dang, this song's so nasty, but I just love the song. The nastiest one, I'm gonna tell you.
I don't even know what's gonna come out her mouth.
Trick Daddy and Trina. You don't know now.
They up thing like me. On that up thing like me.
Then it's like this. You got to get a little quiet when she say deep throat 3 and 4. I'm like,
can I tell you a secret? I only know the radio version. I don't know. To this day, I still don't know the bad word one.
Baby, she was like quick to deep throat.
You hear me? I'm here talking about on that upper thing like me, because on the radio it said on the upper thing like me.
And then Trick Daddy, hold up, bah. I'm like, wait a minute, you don't know. She's like, you don't know damn how. I'm like, but then it's like,
but she said she'll do about 3, 4, 5, or 6 best friends.
Well, she said, I started getting.
But that was a classy. Yeah. That was a class.
But that's how you start getting. I'm like, well, wait a minute, Trina. I don't know about that. I'm like,
I got in trouble one day messing around with Trina. I got in big trouble. Oh, I got in big trouble.
Like, I don't know about that one right there.
You don't remember when my voicemail was the voicemail on her song, on her album? She had this intermission, and she was like, "You to reach me is to beat whatever she said." My guy was like, "Take that ish off your phone right now," and I was like, "Okay, Dad."
Man, and then wait, Lil Kim, I know this dude named Jimmy used to be out. Babe, listen, so so that's why
they be looking at us saying y'all got a lot of nerve. I want y'all to be y'all and do what y'all do, but
when
the sad thing about it is it's the majority. The majority of their music is just ratchet, cheat on your man, take all his money, do this and do that, or I don't need him and I don't need her, and he go smack her face down into the wall and back
it,
and put it in the back and tell my friend to come on and get in it.
Oh, I thought you were singing 8Ball and MJG.
Ain't nobody singing no. Hey, don't get me started on my neck, my back, my.
Wait, Cedric is saying, doing that, Pope Pimp. Oh, you already, man.
Hold on, wait. I got one for you. The Vertical Joyride.
Listen, or Twister. What?
I had no business rapping any of Eazy-E lyrics.
Oh, you listen. Easy is it? Listen. Oh, I love
it. Was that one song where he talked about Sharon and Sean? You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I want to, but which one do I want? Sean said, "Easy, let me." You're blind. Sharon said, I want to blow your mind.
So we understand, but guess what?
And I said storytelling too.
They were definitely storytelling. And guess what? We was not listening to this in Sister Van's house. Listen.
I'm gonna tell you I wasn't, but in Sister Westmoreland Wilson house, I had them headphones on and that little cassette tape. And I would go borrow. I was not allowed to listen, but they could keep up with the cassette tapes. So I'll just go take Easy and Too Short out, and I'll put something else in there. So when they
y'all know what this is, y'all know what this means. What did you, when you speaking of cassette tape, when you see this, what you doing with this?
You finna put it in that little hole right there so you can record over it.
Put the tape over it, some little scotch tape to make it look smooth, baby.
Yes.
Listen, you dubbing. Listen, that's how you was recycling. That's how you was burning and bootlegging back then. That's how you do it. If you see this little piece of tissue paper up in the
that's how you hit that record button.
That's how you do it. On the radio.
She thought it was a gospel. She thought
she was Fred Hammond. Caesar.
She thought.
I got the and then she hear that. You know now. That up thing, like, hold up, and then you
she
like,
thought Jesus was being a fence around
he was
her.
On the main line. He was on this main line when Lil Kim was talking about Jimmy. Okay? So trust me, we understand.
All have a lot of nerve. Let's just say that.
But I'm not gonna co-sign on that
because if you think about it, our parents and our grandparents said the same thing. Turn that crap off. That music is awful. That music is trash.
But I didn't hear that.
I heard it all the time.
So I come from, my family it was music all over. So like I was brought up in all genres of music.
I was too.
But what I listened to, like when they started, like, you know, back in the day when all the music started, like the Too Short and all that stuff came on, that was at night and it was like late. And we didn't have it up loud because first of all, we came from, I was brought up in a sanctified church. Baby, let you go in. If you don't know about a sanctified church, baby, your skirt was up under your feet, okay?
You ain't allowed to go to church with no pants on.
Oh, baby, listen, I'm Jezebel now. I got a whore spirit right now. Now. Listen, you were not, and guess what? We respected that. You not finna sit up here and sass your grandmama.
Right.
I don't listen. So around grandma, you was who they was raising you to be. Now, when you got outside, if you was a hooker, grandmama and your mama wasn't gonna know that you was a hoe.
You better hope she didn't know, because the neighbors was telling and everybody else.
Grandma didn't know because back then, listen, you wasn't finna see me. You wasn't finna see me when I got around. Thank God I never got caught. Well, until I got keeping on the down low 9 months later. Ooh. But outside of that, I'm like, when you see adults, you ain't out there popping and cussing and doing all that craziness. We wasn't
pop blocking, dropping it in front
of no adults, but with each other, baby, the times we had. So I'm just saying, don't be so quick to grow up. Just like enjoy, like young ladies, when you're talking about exploring all of these different things, you letting these dudes, what they don't understand is y'all letting these dudes mess y'all young bodies up so young. So when you do get older, like y'all been through a lot. Y'all bodies is going through a lot. So just value yourself, value your mind, value your body, value your spirit, value being young, and just be thankful to get older. You can sit back and look and sip coffee and then judge and ain't got to worry about, oh, well, we judging, but they think they bad. Baby, listen, we still got hooker shoes and hooker hoe clothes, but we pay the bills. So we can afford to have our whole stuff and sit up here and talk about you while you live at your mama house and your mama taking care of you and your mama buying your whole clothes. So if you getting offended by that because we talking about what your parents are doing, that's because you don't got no bills in your name. That's why you can afford to get mad. But speaking of affording and getting mad, tonight, guys, we are talking about, is keeping your ex around, is it healthy or is it just downright toxic? You heard me. It's keeping your ex around. Now, some of you all may say, now, Jay, wait, what is an ex? Okay. According to an online source, an ex is someone with whom a person was once associated with, either in a relationship, marriage, or they once talked. So my thing is this. So let me break it down in these categories that they gave. So if it was somebody that they were in either a relationship or they were married to, 9 times out of 10, that means that it was some schlong dong and some horizontal mumbo action going on. So that part right there, we have to kind of break down, why are you still involved in that? But I'll table that. I'll come back to those two. If it was somebody that they once talked to, I don't think that there's anything wrong with still keeping in some type of contact with somebody that you once talked to. Now, here's the thing. We're not friends. Like, my thing is this. If you've broken up with someone, if you have a need to have to constantly talk to them, then why did you all break up? Like, to me, you're not even an ex. You're still involved with somebody. You're still involved with each other because you still got that connection. Like, so I don't understand. Maybe I'm wrong. What do you think about that, Lady Lowe's? If you broke up with somebody and these are just the people that have just talked, no horizontal mambo or anything like that, but you find yourself talking to them on a consistent basis, like a couple of times out of the week, consistently, you're talking with this person. Why are we not in a relationship?
Is that now that person you said we've never done
Mhm.
anything,
These are just the talking people. These are just the people that's talking.
but they are considered an ex?
They're considered an ex.
How is somebody that I was just talking to considered an ex?
Because we was dating. We said we verbally said that we were dating, but we probably didn't
So
make it to the horizontal mambo.
That's different. Talking to somebody, we just talking like,
Okay.
I decided I don't like you. You decided you don't like me. But we probably better off as just being friends. Even in a dating scenario, that's dating is getting to know someone. And in this moment of getting to know each other, I don't think you and I mesh in that type of way. But hey, you cool people. I'm still, I may feel like that person's still cool people though. I don't have a problem with talking to you. Now, I'm not going to be talking to you, every day. I can't speak on why somebody else will be doing that, but maybe they found friendship in each other. And if I never slept with you, then you know what I'm saying? Right. It's no difference to me in saying, well, I guess that would be crazy if I felt like you and I. Well, it is people in this world that I feel like you're not my best friend. I want to talk to you all the time. You a cool female, but you ain't really the type of female that I would consider a sister.
Right.
I couldn't get that close to you. Like, I can't tell you my deep, dark secrets, but on the up and up, you a cool person. I just don't mess with you like that. I would still talk to her. I would still check in on her or check in on her and her kids or whatever the case may be. And I think that could be the same thing with somebody that you were just talking to, or you dated for a little while and y'all never slept with each other. They probably just was better off as friends.
And that's
God
true.
brought them in their life for a reason.
And I can definitely see that, because I definitely had a similar situation. Like my best friend, like, God, it did it. We were not compatible relationship wise. Like there was no. But oh my God,
I don't think either one of y'all would be alive if y'all had to try to date each other.
I think I know
one
we
of y'all
would.
gonna be somebody gonna be dead and somebody gonna be in jail.
I know we would probably both be, taking each other out at the same taking each other out at the same time. But Lord, that's been a blessing in my life. So I can understand from that standpoint. But as far as us talking every day, like
I couldn't see that.
We don't talk every day because he's moved on. He's in a relationship. He's
but even when he wasn't in a relationship like that, you guys didn't talk.
We didn't talk every day. We didn't talk every day.
If we all hung out as friends, we would see him at the club or something like that. But he was never somebody that was just always there to where there was a question.
Right.
Like if somebody got a question,
why y'all
always talking to each other? We gotta pull that back.
Because I am a firm believer that men and women can be friends. They definitely can be friends. But again, you have to, have boundaries. Both people, everybody have to have boundaries. And you gotta be, in order to be a friend and get a friend, you have to be a friend. So, and you have to know that you're trustworthy. Now, listen, some of us are not trustworthy enough to be able to be friends with the opposite sex. And listen, some of us listen, if you go the same way, you ain't even trust. Now you can't even make that statement on can men and women listen, because some of y'all, it's a whole bunch of new-ish in the air. So y'all read in between the lines.
Her best friend ain't really her best friend.
Right. Because baby, if you read Elin Harris' book,
oh, I forgot all about Elin Harris.
Baby, he told all the secrets.
Did.
He bust this ish wide open before it became acceptable. Everybody listen, Elin Harris.
I forgot about them books.
I
still got them books.
Oh my God.
I got a box full of books.
Yes. But an ex, like I say, if you were married now.
See, when you say ex, that's somebody that I have laid with.
That becomes a different thing. Your ex, either you were in a long-term committed relationship, or even just any type of relationship that you were in where relations were involved. Now, I think that it's a little, the dynamics are different now, because I'm just like, okay, how do you expect a new person to be comfortable with that? Especially because some of these people will tell you, She ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. I knew him before you. I'm like, whoa.
I've been there.
Whoa.
I've
You
been
like
there.
And you saying this to me, and I'm supposed to be somebody that you're moving forward with. I'm supposed to be your girl, or you telling a woman telling your guy that what's really going on. So what do you
I've been there.
Which standpoint? Were you the person that told somebody that this person
I've been
wasn't
there
going
on both sides of the fence because we didn't work, because we were so young trying to be in a relationship. It didn't work out. And that person's personality, I couldn't be in a relationship with that person because I'm going to run all over you. I don't want to be with a man that I can run all over. But throughout the years, we became like, this is my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like truly, truly, truly my friend. I can talk to him about my exes, my relationships. He can talk to me about his exes and his relationships. The issue became a problem on his end because you talking about me too much to your partner. So because you constantly talking about me, I'm now becoming a threat to your partner, and I don't want you. I'm not even thinking about you in that manner. Like, I was genuinely, truly happy that this man had found someone,
but he wasn't really a
happy
friend.
hit.
You were his friend, and you were trying to be his friend, but he wasn't trying to be your friend.
No, both sides. We were both friends. But in saying that, when you get in a relationship, you talk about the people that's in your life. So when it comes down to talking about Keisha, in the way that he was talking, I don't really know what he was saying to her, but I can tell how she was talking to me, that you have made this woman believe that you have feelings for me.
Which is why I say you were his friend. He was not your friend. He still had some feelings.
He still had feelings. When we were together, though, he never treated me that way. He never acted as if I want you back or I want feelings or anything like that. So to me, and I learned I have a naive mind when it comes to men, because if this how I feel, this how I feel. And I really don't care how somebody else's feel, because we ain't going past no lines at all. But I had to deal with breaking off that friendship because I'm not about to come between you and your chick. And I'm trying to tell this girl, like, child, I got a whole man over here and a baby. I'm not thinking about him. Now I will tell you, I'm not going nowhere. I'm sorry to inform you. I'm going to back up off of y'all, but I'm not going nowhere. His auntie is my auntie. His sister is my sister. His nieces and his nephew, like his nephews are my nephew. Like I'm going to always be that person, but I'm not going to use that as an advantage to be like, I ain't going nowhere. But in all reality, I'm still within that family, and respectfully, I don't go around, but I could.
And see, and I'm glad that you said that, Lady Lotus, because this is why we have to have this is why conversations about exes, in my opinion, are important, because you want to see who's in people's lives, who's in their corner.
That's an irrelevant conversation.
But for me, it's not, because it's like, and a lot of people, it's not, because it's like, why do I want you there as a reminder? And clearly he's still feeling you.
That's why I get away from him.
But you're not feeling him. Mm-hmm. But you still are in his life. And you said key words why people would always have to, be mindful. But if I wanted to, I could. And that's why.
I'm not saying if I want him. Now I can't be that. I said I could be around.
Right.
Not I could have him if I want him. It ain't not like that. But I'm saying, as far as if I want to be around the family, because I am one of those people where I was always at his sister's house. I always party with them. Found out that his cousin was married to one of my cousins. Didn't even know the person was my dang on cousin until I realized,
man,
you that little boy that used to tease me all the time. Like, his auntie is always telling me, hey, baby, I love you. I love your daughter. Like, this is all the time. But I'm not coming to Thanksgiving dinner just to prove a point, because I don't care. I have my own family, my own thing going on, and I'm never going to make somebody else feel a way that I don't want them to feel. To me, that's his personal problem. That's something that's on him. but they're happy. They're still in their relationship. I remove myself from the situation. I don't need to be friends with you no more on Facebook. I don't need to be friends with you. It's not like that. We ended up all being in the same place at a funeral, and she tried to tell me it was your fault. And I was like, no, it was never my fault. You attacked me. You tried to attack me with your words. And this is exactly what you said. And this is exactly how you acted. And it wasn't even like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, and see, but it's like it wasn't like that on your end. But again, like we have to be
he did that.
What he's doing.
I blame
like,
him.
What,
he
what
did that with his words
on your end, and it's just
don't
like
be telling people all y'all business.
And
you
if you
shouldn't
gonna
be
be
sitting there
a
talking
friend,
to your woman about me.
If you gonna be a friend, like I say, then be a friend. But if you know that that person still is kind of feeling you and then they in something else, like, you know, it may be wise to just kind of back away and let them see whatever it is that they're going to do with that other person. And I know some people may say, Jay, that's not my responsibility. That's on them, and that's on and that's fine. Like, that's cool. But it's like, I think of it like this. How would you feel if it were you? Now, speaking of that, do you guys ever wonder what kind of ex are you? Do you ever wonder what do your exes say about you? What would your ex say about? Now, I know most people, I don't care what they would say, but let's just entertain the question for one moment.
I can tell you what somebody said about me.
Let's entertain it. What would you think? What would an ex say about you?
Oh, she bossy. She always trying to tell somebody what to do. She hard-headed. She don't listen. But outside of that, they're gonna say she's loyal. She's faithful. She takes very good care of the home and her kids. Like, I'm not an ex because I did something wrong.
Right.
I'm an ex because that male wasn't ready for what I was ready for. They wanted to play house and hold on to me until they were ready. But they can't really just dog me out like that, except personality wise of being a Capricorn. And I am. And I am.
I don't think I can have a bad, and I know people made me say, oh, you not aware. I am. I'm very aware
of who I am.
So I know the one situation, one relationship, two, I ain't even had look, I can remember.
You should be able to remember people no matter how many you've had.
So, like, I know I was guilty of trying to change him into something that he was not. And, you know, and I later on, I'm like, dig, I felt bad, even though I think that outside of that, we still were not a match. But I think that would be one thing, that would be the biggest
Did he notice that?
Yes, and that was the thing that we clashed about, my trying to change him. And I'm like, I just felt like I was trying to help, but like you already knew, like, and I've been knew the things that I was trying to change about him were already things that I knew before we even got into a relationship. I knew these things about him, but I'm just like, you know, I could change you. Like, I can help you.
We could change that. We could work on that. It'd be that. We could work on that.
And it wasn't anything bad. I just felt like I could help make you better. But he didn't want to be like,
let me upgrade.
He wanted to be where he was, and he was fine with that. And I had a problem with where he was.
You just want to stay here. Like, this is really what you want to do with your life.
Right. So I'm just like, come on. Like, what's the problem? Come on, we gotta.
That's what happens when you dealing with a boss.
And so I'm just like, you know, like, but again, it wasn't nothing negative, or it wasn't anything, but
you weren't trying to tell him don't wear your pants like that.
No,
don't wear your shirts like that. I don't like it when you dress like that.
It was just things. Let's level up. But again, before even going here with my bright ideal or my master plan, I already knew how he was, and I liked that about him. But I'm just
just saw a bigger picture,
right? And he did, and he was like, "I'm fine. Leave me alone." What? Let's get her, you know. So eventually, that's what caused us to end. So now, but I'm like, we're not enemies or anything like that. But I will say that, man, you know what? The things, and I will say this, the things that I was trying to change about him,
He changed.
he changed. He's doing exactly what I was trying to
That be
get him to
that
do.
thing that is my issue. I see what that person
Don't see.
should be, or I'm not even gonna say should be, what they could be. I see what the Most High has destined you to be, and you haven't gotten there yet. So I'm gonna help you get there. We gonna get there, and you gonna love me, and we gonna trauma bond, and we about to be the best couple ever.
Let me just address Bo on YouTube. Look whose name you're putting down. I mean, like, you don't have any sense. We're not listening to, honey. You don't even make good decisions for your own life. So we know we can't listen to nothing that you're saying. Look whose name you typed. You don't even
talk to that person.
You don't even
Goodbye.
govern yourself accordingly. So
Goodbye.
you are in no position to say anything.
And
to
I'm in
anybody.
I'm in a very happy 10-year relationship. Thank you. I've had all long term relationships. Again, I wasn't the problem.
If y'all want to see what Bo is saying, y'all go to our YouTube channel. That's the J Spot Radio, and subscribe, and y'all go see the foolishness that he done said over there. But
I want to see how that work out for you in the next 2 years.
You don't even make good decisions for your own life. So I just will not. But that was that with changing, trying to change him. So I was definitely guilty of that. But for the most part, like, I'm not a bad ex, and I don't have, but for me, on the flip side, I do have some, I wouldn't care if this bastard just walked past me. Now, on my end, it's two. Don't say nothing to me. If you see me in public, don't say nothing.
I don't have
nothing
that.
to me. Oh yes. Oh yeah. I'm like, don't say nothing to me. Now I'm getting better because I had some bad things to say followed by that. So I know now I'm getting better, because it's like when people do, it's like unnecessary stuff. I'm like, I would have never did what was done. I would have never did. I wouldn't have even did that to my worst enemy. So I'm just like, okay, that. But when you talk about your exes and keeping them around and wondering if it's really healthy or if it's toxic, you got to ask yourself, first of all, what type of interaction do you have with that ex? Because to me, that will answer and help you answer if it's healthy or if it's just downright toxic. Like, you done moved on.
So what does the online source say makes it toxic?
So the online source says that makes it toxic is because the consistent conversations like you know you done moved on and you in a whole stable relationship.
Because I ask you that, not to cut you off, because in today's society is different from when we were growing up. And you break up with somebody and you may never, ever, ever see this person again. But with social media and things like that, it makes it different. So I do have, exes that I'm friends with on Facebook, but I'm not texting them. I'm not calling them. I'm not sliding in their DMs. We might send a picture or something or laugh and joke or something like that. Happy birthdays going on their page and things like that. But to me, that's like, I don't have a problem with that.
I think it's the interaction. The overall interaction, because it's like, if you're keeping it cordial, then I don't think that there's anything wrong with.
That's what I'm saying. It's very cordial. Like, it's very cordial.
But I think that what makes it toxic is your level of holding on to a person, and you're putting them as your equal with the person that you're with.
I could never.
Or you're the consistent, like,
those people. Those people don't even get called by their first names anymore. You are now Mr. whatever your name is. That means that I still have a small level of respect for you. But You don't get called by your first name. Dang, I just told my exes, sorry. If I call you Mr., I lost a lot of respect for you.
And it's like, it's so crazy because just having that level. But my thing is this, it's like when you moving forward with an ex and being friends, I look at it like this. I don't want to do anything to make my person feel uncomfortable
In no way.
because you're an ex for a reason. So I'm not about to mess up this new situation for where I've just came from. Yes, we can be cool, we can be cordial, but if my partner is feeling some type of way about this, I'm not going to be able to do this. And guess what? A real friend, a person that's really cool with you, that really wants the best for you, absolutely. They're going to understand that. And they're not going to try to, oh, well, I've known you longer than you've been with dude. You just got with him.
Right.
A real person that got your back and your best interest, they're not going to do that. Now, some fellas will say, yeah, Jay, he ain't going to do that because he know to sit back and play his role and, be a shoulder for you to cry on or a schlong dong for you to fall on, and if she or he, if they decide to use that ex as that's something that they were going to do anyway. It has nothing to do with, oh, well, you can't be friends with an ex. But that toxic-ish, what makes it toxic is, as I said, you with somebody else, but you telling them, oh, she gonna always be here.
I'm never gonna tell
he gonna always that. Please, he can always come over here. He wait.
I would rather say that this person is my friend. They're no threat to our relationship. If you feel disrespected in any type of way, please tell me so that I can correct that issue.
Right.
Because as much as you say you're gonna be here forever, you're gonna be here forever, but you ain't gonna be here forever. You ain't gonna be coming up here trying to mess up what I got. And that go for a BD, a baby daddy, my kid's daddy. That go for all of them. You're not going to mess up what I have because you sitting over there harboring some feelings that I want you back and I can have you because you can.
Because we done been there, done that. And what makes it toxic is anybody that you allow to threaten what you have going on, that's what makes it toxic.
That's that. We talked about that before. That's that corner pocket. That's that you sitting over there. I'm not letting this person go because if you don't act right, I still got them. Yes. I can still go back to them. So I got to respect them and keep them here. Or this person is furnishing my life, is doing things for me that I don't really feel like you doing. But there is no way. I will never be disrespected like that. And I will never, ever, ever disrespect my partner in that type of way.
And that's what it is. So that's what keeping an ex around, if it's healthy or if it's just toxic. It depends on what type of interaction you have with the ex. Does the ex know that they are ex, or are you giving the ex some hope? Are you sitting up there straddling the fence? You telling your current person that they are ex, but y'all really good morning, King. We're going back down memory lane and all this other reminiscing and all this other stuff. Oh yeah, well, I can do it better.
Tell your mama.
When we did. No, exactly.
Tell your mama
and your paw.
Let me call your mama and tell your mama you trying to ruin my relationship. I think I still got her number in my phone.
Just as messy as you want to be. And then some of these people, listen, don't let it be the person that done moved. Like you in a whole relationship, you in a whole marriage. And
they
you
pop up out the blue.
Right. And you sitting up here talking crazy. I'm like, listen, go get your husband, go get your wife. No, ain't none of that going on over here. My thing is this. If we were together, we were talking, and you went and you chose somebody else over me, stand on that. There's no doubling back.
None.
No doubling back whatsoever. I don't drink, so I'm not getting hot and bothered and hoping and all this and that. I'm good. I'm good on you. Hands down.
I don't what they say when you ain't supposed to put your chip back in the dip once you
double dip.
I don't double dip.
at all.
If we broke up, we broke up.
So if
we had flings and you was a one night stand, then you was one night stand.
And that's
You
just
won't
what
be
it
a
is.
2-night.
Again. So it is what it is. But again, when you have an ex, ask yourself what you keeping them around for. And if you are doing it respectfully and you're in a new situation, then make sure that you doing the right thing and that they're doing the right thing. They not subtly flirting with you and making these crazy innuendos like, oh yeah, I can get you back if I want to, all that. Because see, that's just downright toxic and it's disrespectful. It's like, so what are you holding on? You're bringing a problem into the relationship and you already know. So you know where it's going to end. So you may as well end the relationship now because you still got a straggling, messy ex that you brought into the new situation.
And
but
don't mess up a good thing for your past.
You already
Why
know
would you
how
sit
that
up here?
ends.
This man sitting up here doing everything for you. This woman is sitting here being there for you, being everything that you want.
And you
about to mess it up for little Skeeter Beater Quita over here, or Daryl Harold Hurl over here, who now y'all done broke up and you ain't got no choice but to go back over here because that's how stupid you is. And then you realize why y'all broke up and now you crying in that person's face.
Right. And now
go
the
to
other
your
person,
ex.
and now you done moved. They done moved on. Now they don't trust you. They done moved on to something else. And now they done left you to be and deal with the toxic ex that you already, know why y'all broke up. The same ish that they did, you came and put yourself back in that position and did it to somebody else. And then the ex end up still leaving you alone. So now you left with nothing. So is it healthy or is it just toxic? It depends on how people are moving in those situations. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Do me a favor, you all go to our YouTube channel, like and follow it, the J Spot Radio. Go to our Facebook, follow us there, the J Spot. Go to Instagram, like and follow us there, the J Spot. Guys, Jay is Jaye for all three. Turn on the notification bells. Until next time. Peace out. Good night, you guys.
Happy
Thank you
Juneteenth.
so much. Good night.
Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
Boom, boom.
Thank you for hitting the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.